So, what happened to Yubel? Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today, I wanted to talk about Yubel and how it is just completely gone out of the format. As you can see from the past two YCSs, this deck is just nowhere to be found. And I think it's really interesting considering the fact that it really wasn't hit on the ban list. Yes, we got Phantom of Yubel at 1, but it was hit before that and it was seeing more play with one opening of the Spirit Gates. Granted, I know these hits are, some may find them substantial, some may not, but they really don't affect the actual turn 1 lines, of course, with Yubel in general. The ceiling of the deck is pretty much unhit. End boards like this can still be made. This is unbreakable, unbeatable. You will most likely never see somebody break this. Everyone knows if Yubel fully combos, it is essentially an auto win. Now, there's a lot of factors that kind of go into this, and there's one major lingering one that, of course, you guys all know and love. But it's kind of sad to see because Yubel really was pushed out by multitudes of decks and cards before it even got the chance to be number 1. And I know what you're thinking. It won the World Championship, which is amazing feat in itself, and I'm very happy that it did. But at the same time, it is also very frustrating that the deck cannot just be at the forefront of a format for even a minute. But going back to when this deck really became part of the metagame, I'm not going to count Phantom Nightmare as being a part of the metagame because at that point we really only had Spirited Yubel to work off of with Samsara, and that wasn't that good of a deck. Like, it was playable, but it wasn't good. I kind of wanted to skip to Legacy of Destruction. That is really where Yubel starts to become its own deck. This set is what introduced things along the lines of Nightmare Throne and Gruesome Gravesquirmer. Both of these cards being consistencies cards, extenders, double extenders in the case of Gravesquirmer. Truly amazing cards. And I just really, really wanted to break down how unfortunate it was that Yubel came out alongside cards like Snake Eyes Poplar and Promethean Princess. Both these cards pushed Yubel back down to a tier 2 deck, no matter how you look at it. We were in the Year of Fire. Snake Eye was the best deck. And it continued to be the best deck until this most recent ban list. Until everything went to 1 and we got the new set of crossover breakers, it was a Snake Eye meta, and that's just how it was. The ban list did come out, and it did limit Snake Eye Ash and banned OSS, and that is what finally took out Snake Eye. But even then, we got crossover breakers immediately, not even immediately, like during that time, like Yugioh won the YCS, and it was already over. The fire deck was already gone. We've moved on. Power creep already pushed forward. And it kind of just left Yubel in this weird spot where we got Phantom to 1 and opening of the Spirit Gates back to 3, and you just can't even play it. It's really unfortunate that we got to this point. But moving forward from when we got Legacy of Destruction, Infinite Forbidden had a new problem, and that problem was Molcharmi Perulia. And as we knew from what was coming out in the OCG as well, the Molcharmi archetype of the 3 of them are going to be a huge, huge factor for Yubel. These cards have been omega destructive in this deck's success rate, and the main issue is most of the decks currently, at least, can play around 1 to 2 of these pretty well. Yugioh has a tougher time with Perulia, Malice has a tougher time with Fuaros and the Meow, and now we are kind of in a time where Yubel is struggling with all of them, and that's not even including things like Dimensional Shifter and Droll. There is 5 current hand traps that are all Floodgate hand traps that Yubel kind of folds to, and you don't want to push into the Charmies because they're going to draw hand traps eventually with how many cards they're going to draw inevitably. Things like the Unchained engine really, really push the deck into the other Molcharmi cards, and even things like Fiendsmith do the same thing. You're going to be giving them a lot of different cards, and that really is unfortunate to see. I really do want to see Yubel be successful because it wasn't pushed out from any real reason other than card design. These cards really did just push them out by themselves. Infinite Forbidden, Rage of the Abyss, and Supreme Darkness, just one card in each set completely eradicated a deck in the format. And it's really, really sad to see because I think Yubel is still very strong. It's still very competitive. It could definitely steal games, but it's all comes at the cost of your opponent not drawing one of 15 cards, not even including single interaction cards, that is going to affect you. Like I said, Phantom of Yubel is still a completely absurd card. What's it called? Nightmare Throne is still absurd. Samsara Lotus and Dark Beckoning Beast, all of these cards are still extremely strong. We still have the full Fiendsmith engine pretty much. Aerial Eater to get into your combos. But the Bistio cards also are another huge factor of this deck, where Yubel just feels like a deck that everything hits. There is just nothing, no piece of non-engine that does nothing against Yubel. And it's from an unfortunate card design perspective, I suppose, that Yubel is just doing a little bit of everything, which kind of lines up to be hit by everything. But at the end of the day, the thing that killed Yubel was the Mulch armies. The Mulch armies are the thing that pushed everything away. They can't continue, they can't play, they can't get to this end board without your opponent having at least a 10 card hand. And again, it's just disappointing to see, and it's very rare that we see a deck get completely pushed out from one card's card design. You would think that we would be closer to this with something like Tearlament when Bestials came out, but that didn't happen. They just integrated it into their deck lists to then just play a bunch of mirror matches. It wasn't the case for this. This isn't an option for Yubel, unfortunately. You just get defeated, and you have to look at your hand of combo pieces and how they are just unplayable. So let me know what you guys think down below about Yubel and the intricacies of how card design, no ban list, really pushed Yubel out of the format. Not even power creep, because Yubel's power creep, I don't think is behind everything else. I truly don't. I think it is just strictly because of how it plays, not what it's doing. So again, leave it down below what you guys think of Yubel, and if there's maybe ways to fix these problems. I'm very curious if you guys have any specific ways to maybe counteract these type of problems. I would love to hear them down below, and if you enjoy, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.